we take pride in helping people with unique strategies that you won't hear about from many other sources. One of these is the equity harvesting. Your home, which many times your mortgage is one of the largest financial instruments which you have in your life, can be used for you or against you. We encourage you to use it for you. What do I mean? What do I mean by that is that it's like having two horses in a horse race, because the size of your mortgage has no impact on the growth of your home as far as its value is concerned. Whether you have a large mortgage or a small mortgage, the value of your house is going to rise based upon market conditions. So by extracting the equity out of your home, you can put it to use using what banks use every day of the week, which is a form of arbitrage. I'd encourage you to come in and sit down and work with one of our mortgage planners, and they can assist you in that strategy, which can help you pre-fund your retirement instead of worrying how you're going to make it at retirement. I'm thinking of a person that came in just a couple of weeks ago. He was doing things really pretty much all the right way. He was socking away money into his 401k, both he and his wife. He had a 15-year mortgage. He had substantial equity that he had built up in his home. He had term life insurance, and he was doing all the things that Susie Orman and Clark Howard and the other masses of the media that they would tell you is a proper way to go about doing things. There was a problem, though. He recognized the problem. He looked at me and he said, "Terry," he said, "I don't feel like I'm prepared for retirement." And he was right, because when I took him through a program that we have that many people have found quite interesting, it takes you through and forecasts what you are going to receive at retirement based upon the way that you are currently doing things. He saw that there was going to be still a large gap in what he wanted at retirement. We were able to help him, and he went on his way a very happy person. We want to do the same for you. And how we do that is we recommend that folks invest in safe investments. As I alluded to earlier on that screen that you saw, our human brains aren't wired for perfection in the market. And the dirty little secret in the stock market world is that 80% of the money managers perform well if all they do is achieve the benchmark S&P 500 index. And so what that means is that you've got some pretty big odds weighed against you as far as success in the market. You know, you work hard for your money. You want your money to work just as hard for you. I want to illustrate for you one of the programs that we utilize here quite often. So as we were referencing earlier, the type of investments that we here like to recommend is illustrated right here. You can see an actual historical chart of the stock market from 1999 to the year 2005. Had you during that time put the money into the stock market, put $100,000 in, through the years you would have seen your money grow. Actually, it would not have grown. You would have lost money, because at the end of that period of time in the year 2005, $96,000. Well, that's not a very pretty picture. Let's look and see what's down here. This is the way that we prefer to do it. We take your $100,000, and during that same period of time, from 1999 until the year 2005, because of our unique strategies, your money is going to be worth $148,015. Now, how does that work? So let me illustrate one of the investments that we recommend. It's not like a mutual fund. A mutual fund, the only thing that matters is the day you begin and the day you end. Everything else in between is just noise. The market goes up, the market goes down. Here though, with our unique financial instruments, the way it works is the market goes up, for an example. At the end of the year, that gain that you have is locked in, set aside, it becomes yours. It's a part of your account. Now that's not like the recent statement you may have opened from your 401k or mutual fund company or variable annuity, where you saw perhaps a negative sign in front of the number, which means you lost money during that period of time. With our financial investments, what happens is the gain is locked in. If the market went down, then the worst you get is zero for that year. The other thing that comes into play is that when the market does go down, then you have a new starting point then for the ensuing year, which enables you to capture a gain that year, which is also then locked in and set aside and becomes yours. Now also something that we do that's very unique because the equity index programs, they've been around since around 1995, and people are figuring out that these are very, very interesting investments. Another thing that comes into play is that you are allowed to put your money into different types of indexes. For an example, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, the NASDAQ, the FTSE 100, which is a London exchange, Lehman Brothers Bond Index. In other words, the companies are getting creative in the indexes that you can put your money into. They also have a fixed instrument. Well, something that I add as a value-added benefit to you as a client is that with my 30 years of investment experience, I track the markets on a daily basis, and so we can, when we sit down each year for our annual review, take a look at where the money is, and if it looks like the market is going to be in a downturn, well then why take a virtually guaranteed zero for the year? Instead, we would put the money into the fixed and get a fixed rate of interest for that year. So this is something that we're always scanning the marketplace out there so that we can best provide value to you as our client. When you set up your appointment with me and we sit down and discuss all of the financial alternatives, we're going to take a look at every single financial instrument out there and determine what fits you as an individual. Here's an example. What we look for in investments is something that is liquid, something that is safe, and also that gets a good rate of return commensurate with safety and liquidity. You know, there's an old saying, are you getting paid for the risk that's in your portfolio? I was talking to an individual just a couple weeks ago, and he was involved totally in the stock market in some fairly high-risk investments, primarily small cap in things of that nature. And what happened was that he only ended up with about a 3.5% return last year, when really the risk that he had taken with that money, he should have gotten a lot better than that. So did he get paid for the risk that was in his portfolio? No. And you might ask yourself, are you getting paid for the risk that's in your portfolio? Something that we always do for our clients is to ensure that we operate within a safe, guaranteed realm. So as you go through the list here, you might take a look at, for an example, speculative common stocks. Well, do they pass the safety test? No. Do they pass the rate of return test? Depends upon how good a stock picker you are. And are they liquid? Yes, they are liquid. What about raw land? Raw land,